One of the big pressures of trading is where's the money coming from. Whereas if you've got it underpinned with like a job that's secure and stable, you've got your bills taken care of, you can pay your mortgage and all the stresses that if you're struggling to pay those things is really going to cause you issues, then it can actually be much more productive for your trading. And the second benefit of that is
hello traders, welcome back to another We Are Funny Trading Plus podcast. Today we're joined with Simon, the CEO of Funny Trading Plus, and we asked our traders a very interesting question. We asked them, is becoming a profitable trader while working a 9-to-5 job achievable? Simon, do you want to take a little guess at the percentages here?
70-30 in favour of saying it is possible.
Yeah, very close, very close. So this week, traders said 80% of traders did say it is possible achieving profitability.
That's close for me, being 10% now.
That's probably the closest you've been. But yeah, I just want to start off with what are some of the common challenges traders find while working a full-time job, trying to achieve profitability in trading?
The big issue, I think, traders who trade a full-time job is obviously making time, but is choosing the right time frame. Like traders will often start off by trading really short term, scalping, want to be in and out of the market, which makes sense because you go into your trading session, you want to make a trade, don't you? So if you're a short term trader, it's more likely. But the successful people who balance the jobs are the ones who get on these longer term time frames and swing trade and things like that. Like I'm not a big advocate of trading on a mobile, like trying to take 5-minute trades on your phone. But if you do your analysis at the weekend and you're on like an hourly, a 4-hourly, or even higher time frame, maybe a daily time frame, you like, because all the patterns just are the same on time frames. So I'm going to tangent a little bit. One of the exercises I used to do with people is take a load of patterns on a chart and then I just take away the time frames and try and get them to guess as a 1 minute, 5 minute, an hour daily, and they couldn't because the patterns are all the same. So if you're looking for like a breakout, you can trade on order on a daily time frame, for example, and you can just set and forget. And then you can have alarms and you can monitor it and you can potentially move a stop loss and things like that while at work. So you're just making a handful of quality decisions which can accompany a 9-to-5 job rather than just trying to scalp. Alternatively, this can be the longest answer I've ever given, trade the sessions when you're not at work. So if you're working a 9 till 5, maybe the Asian session in the evening, but you've got to be conscious that you're not burnt out from work and you can be focused on trading as well. So they're generally the two sort of permutations of success for people working 9-to-5s.
Yeah, and have you seen in your time traders who can work a full-time job and actually be consistently profitable trading?
Yeah, on the longer term time frame, absolutely. But we also see people who depends on the job, of course, they end up sort of phasing into part-time working as well. In fact, something I did a long time ago is you can have your trading days, maybe have Monday, Tuesday off, and then go on to the rest of your working week. The only thing I'll caveat that with is obviously post-COVID, working from home is so big now. So I guess a lot of people sneak in a lot of trades while they're working on a separate screen while they're ignoring on Zoom, and then when they get an answer, they pretend they didn't hear. Could you just repeat that? The connection went fuzzy, which I'm guilty of myself. But I think the problem with you've got to make sure that you're not getting distracted because trading is a very intensive competition. So if you're trying to do whatever your job is on one screen, then trade on the other, that can be a bit of a disastrous thing.
So why do you think some traders, obviously 20% in this case, why do you think some traders might believe it's not possible to achieve profitability while working a full-time job?
I suspect they've tried the things I just described. They've tried to like multitask, or they've tried to trade on the mobile and probably lost signal. They've tried to force it in rather than think about what's compatible. You've got your core job and your core life, and it's a case of how can this work around.
So do you think obviously 2024 now, technology and AI have made it easier for traders to work a full-time job and trade?
Well, I think trading platforms are as user-friendly and as easy to use. The market's competitive with spreads and execution, things like that. So retail trading is in the best state it's ever been. Volatility is pretty good. So yeah, I do think so. In terms of like automation for, I don't know, it depends what job people do, but if it's slightly automated AI, maybe it gives them a bit more free time, but then the risk becoming redundant, I guess.
Yeah, well, you touched on it before, but let's say you're working 9-to-5, Simon. How would you balance your 9-to-5 job Monday to Friday and trading, for example? What tips and advice could you give to traders in this situation?
Yeah, well, I used to work shifts, so that was easier for me. I knew that I'd have an afternoon on X, Y, and Z to trade before going to work or something like that. But no, I think it's a case of doing it. I would probably just look at longer term time frames, look at the same sort of setups that would work on a 5-minute chart, take them onto a 4-hourly chart, and that's how I'd probably trade with alarms and alerts and make sure the risk is managed correctly, and then just monitor it on the mobile throughout the day. You don't want to be thinking about it constantly. You want to put yourself in a position where nothing's going to really take you by surprise unless some catastrophic black swan event happens.
Yeah, of course. And obviously working 9 to 5 is tough. Some people work more hours, some people work 12-hour shifts 5 times a week. how do you avoid that burnout when it comes to finishing your shift, getting home, or trading before your shift? Some people take it to the really next level, but how can that affect your personal life, and how do people avoid burnout?
I would say probably do your analysis on weekends. I mean, you need your weekends to recuperate from your 9 to 5, but it depends how much capacity someone's got and how mentally strong and how capable they are. But I think it's a case of doing your analysis. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. Not just to make money, hopefully you enjoy trading as well. So do a bit of analysis. I mean, if you're looking for setups and patterns, you should be able to identify them quite quickly while you're experienced. And it's just a case of setting levels, setting orders, and making sure you execute and manage correctly. It can be relatively low stress, providing you're prepared. You realise that you're just going to make a small amount of high quality decisions rather than lots of decisions.
Yeah, do you think part-time traders should set different goals or more realistic goals to full-time traders?
Yeah, I think in terms of gathering data, in terms of longer term success, I think it can help. In fact, to look at it another way, I think it can actually help as well if someone's working as well, because you're not just constantly thinking about the markets, you're not thinking about every move, and because sometimes there's nothing worse than just been sitting there. Because I've had people say, I'm struggling, I'm sat at the charts 13 hours a day, and it's like, well, that's not good for you. If you had a job where you made a quality trading decision, you put an order in the market at a level, goes to the level, and then you're getting on with other business. And then the only time you're reminded of that trade is when you get an alarm or where you get a profit target hit or something like that. I think that can actually be you could frame it in a quite healthy way like that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about Funded Trading Plus. Have we ever had any traders that you know of who trade part-time because they've got full-time jobs?
Yeah, I mean, I think most people probably have normal jobs who come into funded trading, so they have to work around that. But yeah, I don't know the proportions. I'm not sure I'd gather. Probably have to do a survey or something. But yeah, there's a really diverse range from people who are experienced and been trading for years to people who are part-time to people who may be retired, all the way up to people who've got really intensive jobs as well. So it's the full spectrum of people.
Yeah, I think last year we interviewed Dylan from Canada, and he was working like 10 hours a day, 6 days a week or something crazy like that. So how important is it for traders who are still not quite at that profitable consistency level? How important is it that they still have their jobs? And can you actually do that long term? Because some people love their jobs as well. It's not always about, I want to become a trader, I need to leave my job. Is it beneficial to actually have a job while you're building up that skill within trading?
Yes, Dylan, didn't he make over 6 figures or something like that?
120,000.
Yeah, I bet he was walking into work pretty pleased. Where's your new car from?
Yeah, his job, that thing, you remember saying to me that he actually loved his job and he had no plans on leaving his job. So how important is it that people don't just focus on, right, get good, leave our job, that it's also good? And
one of the big pressures of trading is where's the money coming from. Whereas if you've got it underpinned with like a job that's secure and stable, you've got your bills taken care of, you can pay your mortgage and all the stresses that if you're struggling to pay those things is really going to cause you issues, then it can actually be much more productive for your trading. And the second benefit of that is if you do just have a regular job, regular income, then when the markets aren't great or when you're not great, you might have some horrible life event without, giving morbid examples that takes you out of the headspace for a while. Whereas, you can potentially, again, push it to more of an extreme. If you need a bit of time off work, you can take time off work. There's laws that mean you still get paid and stuff like that. You can't do that with the markets. It's like, I need a week off. Are you still going to pay me? It doesn't work like that, does it? So sometimes for people that can be the perfect balance, and they don't necessarily want to be full-time traders. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, awesome. I think to conclude this episode, let's just maybe whittle down all of the advice you've given into 3 main pieces of advice for traders who are working full-time and are trying to get to that level in their trading.
Yeah, I'd say firstly, pick the time frame that works for you. Don't try and force it. Be conscious of the sort of stress levels that come with work and how your mental energy can be sapped if you start with like a 10 in the morning or maybe 11 if you drink too much coffee, and you end up like with a 3 in the afternoon. That might not be the best time to trade as well. And just sort of concentrate on whether that's what you want to be long term, if it suits you to have that balance. Or do you really want to be a full-time trader, or can you find something that gives you that security as well, and then this additional sort of money through trading? Yeah,
awesome. Really good way to summarize the end of the episode, and one of my favorite episodes, to be fair, because so many traders do work full-time, and I think it's a great place to end. Loads of valuable tips in there. So yeah, thank you to everybody for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode of We Are From Trading Plus, the podcast.